Please remain standing for the invocation.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
You may now take your seats. May I request the Chairman, Board of Governors, Professor N. Satyamurthy, to declare the convocation open.
I declare the convocation open.
Thank you, sir. I now request the Chairman, Academic Senate, Professor N. Satyamurthy, to award the degrees. Please step up to the stage as your names are called. PhD graduates of 2016. C. Jebaratnam. He wrote a thesis on characterizing quantum correlations in the non-signaling framework under the guidance of Professor Suresh Sinha. Sukhdeep Kumar wrote a thesis on studies on selected biomolecules and their roles in cell proliferation, cytotoxicity and disease under Professor P. Gupta Sharma. Devmaya Das wrote a thesis on quantum state estimation using weak measurements and entanglement manipulation with local focus under Professor Arvind. Kusumlata wrote a thesis on structure function studies on TLYA hemolysin under Dr. Kaushik Chattopadhyay. Preeti wrote a thesis on prior information in the inference of performance in constrained thermodynamic processes under Dr. Ranjit Joy. T. Ramanjaneulu Bandaru wrote a thesis on nucleophilic carbene catalysis in chemoselective and aerobic oxidation reactions under Dr. R. Vijayaraman. Mayor Ahmed Aslam wrote a thesis on diastereoselective synthesis of unnatural amino acid derivatives under Dr. S. A. Babu. Vinay Shenoy N. wrote a thesis on density-dependent natural selection, evolution of bulk rates in Drosophila melanogaster under Dr. N. D. Prasad. Navnita Kumar wrote a thesis on amino acid-based ligands and their self-assembled homochiral coordination architecture under Professor Sanjay Mandal. Shruti Dogra wrote a thesis on multi-qubit entanglement and qubit computing on NMR quantum computer under Dr. Kavita Durai and Professor Arvind. Billa Prashant wrote a thesis on complexes of root 30 and 14 elements for synthetic and reactive studies under Dr. Sanjay Singh. Sonika wrote a thesis on a conjecture on linear systems under the guidance of isotropic experiment course. Shilpa Setia wrote a thesis on discotic liquid crystals for optoelectronic application under Dr. Shantanu Prasad. Sumaira Siddiq wrote a thesis on new approaches to the design of liquid crystal-based biosensors under the guidance of Dr. Shantanu Prasad. Sudeep Jaiswal wrote a thesis on this phosphine-amino-amide boron complexes for synthesis and reactivity studies under Dr. Sanjay Singh. Chinmay Sarkar wrote a thesis on measurement and source apportionment of reactive VOCs in South Asia under Dr. Vinayak Sinha. The following students are also PhD graduates of 2016. They were unable to attend. The degree will kindly be conferred on them in absentia. I announce their names. Zeba Kadri wrote a thesis on understanding cross-polarization NMR experiments using multimode closure theory under Dr. Ramesh Ramachandran. Vanika Gupta wrote a thesis on in sickness and in health, exploring the evolution of immune response using Drosophila melanogaster under Dr. N.G. Prasad. Rupesh Kumar wrote a thesis on a study of torsional superelasticity and continuous response in spider cells under Dr. Kamal Priya Singh. Anand Kumar Rai wrote a thesis on structure function mechanism of vibrio polycytolysine under Dr. Kaushik Chattopalya. Dominic Naran wrote a thesis on biophysical studies on protein misfolding and aggregation under Dr. Samrat Mukhopadhyay. Kanika Arora wrote a thesis on folding stability and DNA binding in E. coli HU and its engineered variants under Professor P. Gupta Sarma. Karan Singh wrote a thesis on adaptation to cold stress, the evolution of life history and reproductive traits in Drosophila melanogaster under Dr. N.G. Prasad. Vijay Dalal wrote a thesis on molecular insights into prions and amyloids under Dr. Samrat Mukhopadhyay. Anshul Chaudhary wrote a thesis on dynamics on complex networks under Professor Sudeshna Sinha. Now we move on to MS graduates. MS graduates of 2016. Ankit Verma wrote a thesis on exploring zebrafish as an immunological model organism under Dr. Sharvan Sayal. Bhaskar Vishesh wrote a thesis on the normalizer problem in integral group rings under Professor IISER Convocation. Mrityunjay Pandey wrote a thesis on electromechanical and electrical characterization of CD2S CDS nanostructures using AFM under Dr. Gautam Sheikh. Himanshu Dua wrote a thesis on dynamic transitions in unzipping of an adsorbed polymer under Dr. Rajiv Basu. Shivan Arora wrote a thesis on Z classes in finite P groups under Dr. Krishnendu Gangopadhyay. Arun Kumar wrote a thesis on Ratner's theorem on unipotent flow under Dr. Krishnendu Gangopadhyay. The following students are also MS graduates of 2016. They were unable to attend, so the degree will kindly be conferred in absentia. Mulani Imran Khan Bashir wrote a thesis on review of discrete Newtonian cosmology under Professor J.S. Bagla. Ashish Thakur wrote a thesis on Quark mass matrices and textures under Professor M. Gupta. Surinder Goyal wrote a thesis on temporal oscillations in flowering in Passiflora in Karnataka under Professor N. Satyamurthy. Now we move on to BSMS graduates of 2016. Devinder Kumar, Busharanjit Sandhu, Shehnaz Nagar, Geeta Nanda Hindujan, Shivam Umar Vaishya, Aniket God, Vikram Sharma, Shekhar M. Ere, Samant Manas Arun, Sarah George, Arun Ganesh SS, Ravinder Singh, Bangal Yogesh Manga, Athira J. Nair, Arpit Korwal, Atul Singh Arora, Viplov Kumar Nandi, Soumya Gupta, Srijit Mukherjee, Abhishek, Joydeep Chakravarti, Love Grover, Garima Singh, Neha Sharma, Kishore Bharti, Vivek Sagar, राजेंद्र सिंह भाटी, प्रशंसा गुप्ता, दीक्षा जैन, शिवेन धीमान, अक्षय संधू, ऋतु रॉय चौधरी, अभिनव काला, जो पॉल मैथ्यू, अखिल राज के, अथिरा टी जॉन, अथिरा टी जॉन, अखिल फ्रांसिस, अनुजा जयराज, शुभम चौहान, मनु जे, श्रुति मोहन, एवेलिन अब्राहम, मनीषा, अमृता श्री कुमार, संध्या सिंह, जस्टिन के थॉमस, आकांक्षा रावत, वरुण कुमार, विशपाल सिंह, गायकवाड़ अक्षय रामदास, मानवेंद्र सिंह, श्वेता एस, S. George. गोविला साई कुमार. तपस्या विजयन. आर्था शंकर RPS. प्रियंका सुरेंद्र जमदग्नि. रविंदर सिंह. सौरभ थापिया. शबरी BR. नकुल कुशाभाऊ टेके. अभिनय वर्धन. ज्ञानेंद्र यादव. रश्मि जैन. योस्मान बापकर. जगदीप सिंह. रोहित कुमार पाटीदार. ऐश्वर्या जॉय एन. लक्ष्मी भाई NV. दीप्ति कृष्णा P. अर्सिला अशरफ PK. अमन कुमार भोसले. वैशाली. संतोष कुमारी. अंजलि महादेवन. मनमोहन. रुचिका चौधरी. नागेंद्र प्रताप राजवंशी. अंकिता वर्मा. रश्मि सिन्हा. येनखोंग सुनंदा. Manu Bess. Thank you, sir. May I request the Chairman Board of Governors, Professor N. Satyamurthy, to give his accord to the award of degrees by signing the registers of degree awardees of IISER Mohali. The graduating class of 2016 will now rise. Let us all congratulate the graduates of request the Chairman, Academic Senate, Professor N. Satyamurthy, to deliver his exhortation to the class of 2016.
Remember that your knowledge and intellectual attainment is the most sacred wealth of the nation. You shall therefore use it in a manner befitting the honor and dignity of your country and of your alma mater. You shall make every effort in all circumstances to uphold the dignity of your profession and integrity of your character. You shall endeavor in every way, through thought, word, and action, to bring about the well-being of the people. You must live a well-disciplined life. Never forget the commandment of the sacred scriptures. Thou shalt perform deeds that are commendable and no others.
You may now take your seats. May I now request the Chairman, Board of Governors, Professor N. Satyamurthy, to present the special awards for the graduates of 2016. Ms. Yosman Bapadhar is awarded the President's Gold Medal for the best academic performance in the class of 2016. Mukherjee is awarded the Professor S.N. Paul Medal for the best all-round performance in the class of 2016. Ms. Shweta has received the certificate for the best academic performance among chemistry majors in the class of 2016. Among the mathematics majors in the class of 2016, the best academic performance goes to Ms. Rashmi Jain. Among the physics majors, the best academic performance certificate goes to Ms. Diksha Jain. And Ms. Rosman Bapadhar received the certificate for best academic performance among biology majors. I now request our director, Professor M. Satyamurthy, to present the report of the institute.
Hearty congratulations to the 5th batch of graduates from IISER Mohali. From a humble beginning, in a small room in the basement of the library building of MGC Park complex in Sector 26, Chandigarh, we have come a long way in setting up IISER Mohali in the last 9 years. We have completed the phase 1 construction of about 117,000 square meter space. 222 BSMS graduates have come out of IISER Mohali in the last 4 years. Today, we have added another 82 to this number. While 2 students got their MS degrees in the last year, 9 more have gotten their MS degrees today. The last 4 convocations witnessed a total of 15 scholars getting their PhD degrees. In today's convocation alone, 25 PhD scholars have received their degrees. That is remarkable progress. I congratulate all the graduates and their mentors for this commendable feat. The academic infrastructure of the institute is largely in place. Recently, we have started moving into the academic block 2. Furnishing hopefully will be through by the end of this summer. We have added several pieces of sophisticated equipment in the last 1 year. The STM facility is being set up with funds from Nano Mission. The TEM facility will be added soon. We are running short of accommodation for students. Hopefully the government will provide us with funds and permission to start constructing some more hostels. After a gap of nearly 2 years, we have started adding some more bright young minds to the faculty. Several inspired faculty fellows have joined the institute. They are adding value to themselves and to the institute. From 2 research publications in the first year, the number of publications has increased to nearly 150 last year. According to Web of Science, the total number of publications since the inception of IISER Mohali is about 640. The institute could submit the data for national ranking recently thanks to the efforts of Professor Sanjay Mandal. Unfortunately, we were listed under the engineering colleges, which did not make any sense. Hopefully, we will be listed under an appropriate category next year. What is heartwarming is that Nature Index has listed the IISERs as number 4, after all the IITs put together as number 1, all CSIR labs put together as number 2, and Institute of Science Bangalore as number 3. Not bad for a group of institutions that are less than 10 years old. Pursuit of excellence has become a way of life at IISER Mohali. Our students go to conferences and present their work. Some of them get best paper awards. Time and again, our students and faculty have shown that they are second to none. Last year, I reported about the landmark papers by Doctors Lalitika Mandal and Sudeep Mandal and their students in development cells, and the discovery of a new quantum matter by Yogesh Singh and colleagues, which was published in Nature. This year, the discovery of superconductivity in a Dirac semi-metal by Dr. Gautam Sheet and collaborators, that includes Dr. Ashok Ganguly, Director INST sitting here, which was published in Nature Materials. The first author, this is something special. The first author of this paper was an undergraduate student. One of the visiting faculty members, Dr. Jaswant Yadav, and his international collaborators announced the discovery of a fast radio burst in their paper in Nature, published in December 2015. The paper by Kamal Priya Singh and his PhD student in Physical Review Letters announced a verification of 100 years old Minkowski conjecture that photons gain momentum inside a water droplet. More and more research projects from IISER Mohali are getting funds from outside agencies. Dr. Sabyasachi Rakshit got a welcome DBT grant to understand the role of peptides in hearing. Dr. Kamal Priya Singh has got a DST MPG partner group funded recently. The work of our colleagues is getting recognized by their peers. Dr. Shantanu Paul got the Nasi Young Scientist Platinum Jubilee Award and the IISER Young Scientist Medal last year. Dr. Kaushik Chattopadhyaya got the National Bioscience Career Award for the year 2014. Professor Sudeshpal Kanduja received the V.V. Narlikar Memorial Lecture Award from INSA for the year 2015. Professor Priya Rao received the INSA Teacher Award in December 2015. Our alumni are performing well. Some of the BSMS graduates have chosen to stay back for their PhD program in IISER Mohali. Some of them go abroad for higher studies in some of the best institutions in the world. One of our graduates this year, Shweta, has been invited to meet the Prime Minister. The number of patents filed by our colleagues is increasing slowly. Drs. Rakshit and KP Singh and Professor A.K. Bachawat have filed a patent each. Our interaction with industry is increasing. Professor Gupta Sharma, who is also the Dean Research and Development, has effected a know-how transfer to a company in Sector 82 Mohali. Although the first check of royalty received was for rupees 1 lakh only, the amount I am sure will increase in the years to come. As part of the Startup India announced by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, IISER Mohali has been awarded a rupees 5 crore grant for setting up a technology business incubator. We plan to register the TBI IISERM Society to set up the TBI. Hopefully, many of our graduates will become entrepreneurs. It is not necessary that only engineers have to become entrepreneurs. When our graduates become job creators rather than job seekers, IISERs can be said to have succeeded in more ways than one. One of our graduates has set up a company called C Lablet. I encourage you to look up Google about C Lablet. Interaction with the neighbors is essential for our growth. We plan to join hands with the Indian School of Business in setting up the TBI. We are about to sign an MOU with the Semiconductor Complex Mohali. We are already an active partner in CRIC, the Chandigarh Regional Innovation Knowledge Cluster, chaired and spearheaded by Professor Arun Grover, Vice Chancellor, Punjab University. Globalization of IISERs is essential for them to be counted globally. IISER Mohali has joined Belle 1-2 collaboration. Dr. Sharvan Sharawat organized the first global initiative of academic network called GYAN workshop on emerging and prevalent infections, along with his mentor, Professor Barry T. Rouse of the University of Tennessee, USA. The next GYAN workshop will be on cognition, which will be hosted by Dr. Samarjit Bhattacharya of IISER Mohali and Professor Nirgankar Sur of MIT. Somdutta Sinha organized the Santa Fe Winter School on Complex Systems in December 2015. The National String Theory meeting took place in the same month at IISER Mohali. The International Conference on Gravitation and Cosmology was hosted by Professor Bagla and his colleagues. We had the privilege of having Professor Venki Ramakrishnan, Nobel laureate in chemistry, visit us in January 2016. In addition to giving a public lecture, he addressed the school students of the first Inspire camp held in our campus. Professor Arvind has been organized in several outreach activities. He organized Ishan Vikash, a 2-week camp for students from Northeast. He also organized a DST workshop for children in July 2015. Now it is official. Gender parity is becoming a reality in IISER Mohali. 40% of our students are girls and 20% of our faculty are women. If you have noticed the people receiving the medals, you know who is in majority. Peer reviews of all departments have been carried out recently. We are about to undertake a peer review of the institute as a whole soon. We also plan to undertake an appraisal of IISER Mohali created in the project mode 9 years ago. Time has come to review the BSMS curriculum that was developed nearly a decade ago. The review committee will take input from our alumni to ensure that we change with the times. In today's competitive world, we have to keep running to stay in the same place. If you want to move up the ladder, you have to work harder and be more innovative. Hopefully, our students and faculty will continue to excel in their activities and nothing will stop us from becoming number one in whatever we do. We are grateful to Professor T.V. Ramakrishnan, a well-known condensed matter physicist, for kindly agreeing to be the chief guest today and to address our graduates. In addition to being an outstanding researcher, he is an excellent educationist. He has some very clear views on higher education, and he was the chairman board of governors of IISER Pune for an extended period. Before closing, I want to heartily congratulate our graduates once again and wish them Godspeed in whatever they do. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May I now request our Chairman, Board of Governors, Professor N. Satyamurthy, to address the gathering and introduce our Chief Guest, Professor T. Ramakrishnan.
I'm sorry to be wearing more than one hat today. I have already given the director's report. So as a chairman, an acting chairman, I have nothing more to add. But what I would like to do is to say the following. On behalf of all of us at IISER Mohali and on my own, I wish to express our gratitude to Professor T.V. Ramakrishnan for kindly agreeing to be the chief guest for today's convocation. I am especially thankful to him for making it today despite his health issues. Professor, this is particularly for the benefit of students and the general public. Professor Tirupatur Venkatachalamurthy Ramakrishnan was born on 14 August 1941 in Madras, now called Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He completed his BSc Honours in Physics in 1959 and MSc in 1961 from Banaras Hindu University. After working as a CSIR Research Fellow at BHU for a year, he moved to Columbia University, USA, to complete his PhD degree under the guidance of Professor Luttinger in 1966. Soon after that, he returned to India to work as a lecturer in the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. After a couple of years of teaching at IIT-K, he surprised the dean faculty and the director of the institute by saying that he wanted to go back to the US for a brief period. Of course, IIT Kanpur was ready to let him go with the understanding he would come back and let him continue the job as if nothing happened. That was something different. Anyway, he went to La Jolla in California for a year and a half, and came back to IIT Kanpur. But after a few years, he was a visiting professor at Princeton. And by that time, IIT Kanpur has become more formal in its rules and implementations. And he moved to Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, where he continued until 2003. After that, he moved to BHU, his alma mater, as DAE, Homi Bhabha Professor of Physics. He is currently associated with the National Center for Basic Sciences, Bangalore. He has been honorary professor in the Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Scientific Research, Bangalore, and in IIT Kanpur. He is the Chancellor of Tripura University. Professor Ramakrishna has won several awards and honors from India and elsewhere. He received the Bhatnagar Prize in Physical Sciences in 1983 and the Trieste Science Prize in 2005. It's a long list of honors, I'm not mentioning all of them. Very recently, he received the G.N. Ramachandran Prize from Shastra in Tamil Nadu. He is a fellow of all the science academies in the country. He was elected fellow of the Royal Society in 2000. His citation on his election to the Royal Society reads as follows. Professor Ramakrishnan has made crucial contributions to our understanding of condensed many-body systems. His pioneering work started two major areas of activity. These are the liquid-solid transition as well as related phenomena in dense classical systems and the concept of electron localization in disordered systems. He has also made many significant contributions to their growth. In a third area, namely mixed valence in rare earth metals, his work on the inverse orbital degeneracy expansion has had a major effect on the field. He was the president of the Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore. I had the privilege of working with him at that time. The government of India honored him with Padma Shri in 2001. Professor Ramakrishnan has published a large number of research papers. Along with Professor C.L.R. Rao, he co-authored a very readable book, Superconductivity Today, in 1992. He is still active in research in the area of superconductivity and other aspects of condensed matter physics. As I said earlier, he has some very clear views on higher education. As a chairman of IISER Pune, as a chairman board of governors IISER Pune, he had mentored that IISER. Today, may I call upon Professor Ramakrishnan to address the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Murthy, for the generous introduction. Thank you all. And it's a great thing to be here with the kind of people I have been with all my life. I am actually especially grateful to the authorities of this institution because I have not been involved in academic administration or government or political activity in any way. So I am very thankful. I am also very happy to be with you all genuinely because this is a point in your lives when armed with the best education that this country can provide, with the skills and values which will enhance your life as you live it, you go out in the world. The value of this will grow on us and will become even more significant as we keep in mind a very old injunction, several thousand years old, which was given to a teacher, to a student who was finishing his studies by a teacher, and occurs in the Taittiriya Upanishad. It says, Swadhyayan ma pravadaya, which implies that please do not deviate from self-study. Now this activity is actually quite dangerous. It can make you a rebel, it can make you a very consummate success in this world as it is, or it may make you see the futility of all things. Whatever it does, the combination of what you have got here and your own constant churning it over in your mind will make all the difference in your life. So I hope this will happen to at least some of you. As someone who has been with students and teachers all his life and has lived in one structure or another of higher education in India from his birth, you see, as Professor Satyamurthy might have said, my degrees are from Banaras University. Not only that, I grew up on its campus. So I am a child of the higher education system of this country. So in this long life, I have acquired a large number of prejudices and views, and will share some of them with you. Of course, this is a subject on which all of us have very strong views. I think that differences in views are very welcome, and as a matter of fact, even clashes are welcome, and even more welcome would be some action. I think it is especially appropriate that we have learned parts of science as undergraduates and have done research here in an environment which combines both. That is, an environment in which the transmission of knowledge and generation of knowledge are both at home. This thing was said long ago, almost a century ago, by C.V. Raman, our perhaps our most distinguished physicist, in a meeting, in a lecture in Banaras Hindu University, of which he was a visiting professor. He said, a university is not a university, but only a high school if the advancement of knowledge is not continually kept in sight as a duty of teachers and students alike. So long as our teachers and students are not inspired in their daily work by such ideals, so long as it is not research but administration that dominates the outlook of universities, we can hope for no great advance either in the intellectual output of India or the quality of work done in our centers of learning. The encouragement and development of research forms one of the most urgent problems facing us today in India. This, I think, remains true even today. One of the things which Professor Raman was referring to in his lecture was the experience of learning apparently dead things, from lectures, from notes, from books in libraries and so on, in a place which is alive with the promises and uncertainties of new things, and this strengthens us and liberates us. It tells us that knowledge is not a dead thing. It frees us from the burden of that knowledge. The IISERs, as you know, were specially established to provide world-class education in science, especially for undergraduates in our country. This was done in the way it has been done all over the world. Quality education in an environment of research where both are equally the functions of an institution. The fact that they meet a crying need in our society is clear from their success, some of which has been described by Professor Satyamurthy, and also from the fact that there has been already a lot of imitation. There have been demands which have been, I think, formally met for 3 new IISERs to be established. The IISERs are now a well-recognized brand, just as the IITs have become in the last few decades. I would like to believe that one of the directions of growth of the IISERs would be in the range of subjects that are at core here. As an inspirational example, I would mention the Indian Institute of Science, which, in spite of its name, is home to a very large number of engineering departments. The economics, linguistics, and religion departments of MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, are among the best in the world. So I hope that this would be a pattern which would germinate in some of our IISERs and make them a very fruitful place to learn anything. I also find it very admirable that the IISERs represent the spirit of modern science, that is, its experimental wellspring. The motto of the Royal Society, founded for the advancement of natural knowledge. In the early years of modern science, more than 300 years ago, by a small bunch of amateurs, is nullius in verba, that is, not because of say-so, that is, not because somebody says that this is true. You have to find out, you have to do an experiment. And interestingly, this is exactly the stance of traditional India. The first line of Swami Vivekananda's book on Raja Yoga is, experience is the base of all knowledge. Only in his case, the knowledge is not of the external world only, but also of the internal world. I feel, however, that in our approach to higher education, there are inherent limitations because of our numerically and academically selective approach to higher education. This implies by definition that only a few people can be in an institution of a certain kind and not all aspects of higher education can be given equal value. Regarding the first, there is a lot of evidence that a large, strong base, rather than aiming exclusively for the peaks, is the source of excellence. The second, which is the narrowness of our focus on aspects of higher education, I believe that this gives to our graduates a very, this makes our graduates somewhat stunted and limited in their growth. I hope that in future this will change. I can go on and address here, in case you would like to look at it, has all of it. But I would like to emphasize just a few points which are towards the end of my lecture. And these are my personal views on some things which occur to me regarding possible changes in higher education which might be desirable for a country as large and diverse as this and as steeped in the genuine value of higher education, irrespective of the language, religion or caste which the person inhabiting this country comes from. One is that we have to invest in a very large way in objective performance or achievement level oriented markers in different levels of higher education, namely graduates, undergraduates, postgraduates and research. Now this requires a huge amount of effort but it is not a measure, it's not a way in which someone is given a certificate of excellence, but it is only a marker that a person has attained a certain level of performance. And this absence of depth in our higher education is, I think, its most critical shortcoming in the long run. I also feel that there has to be a massive enhancement in the quality of teachers. This has to be done again on a very large scale over several installments of a few months each for each teacher, and it has to be directed towards enhancing their effectiveness in the classroom. Now in this country we have more than enough strength in professionals of different ages to run such a high quality program ourselves. I remember that when I started my career about 5 decades ago, there were summer schools for training teachers, and these summer schools were attended by teachers, but the teachers were from the United States. And this was one of the major programs of the United States. At present, this is not necessary. We have enough strength in almost all areas of higher education ourselves to be able to have high quality teacher training programs that are expensive. This needs something, some serious urgent attention, simply because without high quality teachers in large numbers, it is simply impossible to have a quality higher education system. Our universities, which are really the basis of the higher education system, they have to grow in the image of real universities. They have to expand their scope at least in 3 directions. One is the disciplines in which higher education is possible in a university, that the disciplines have to be many more. They have to include professional categories such as technology, medicine and agriculture. Undergraduate education has to be there in a big way. The universities which we admire most have this. For example, Stanford University is a great private university, has about 7,000 undergraduate students and 11,000 graduate students. University of California, Berkeley, which is a great public university, has about 26,000 undergraduate students and 10,000 graduate students. Thirdly, we have to work to our strengths. We are an old culture which is very diverse, very deep, and has enormous strengths, both intellectual and otherwise. This has to be explored in the depth it deserves. A striking fact about our universities is that in most of them, 3 aspects of a university, namely the campus, which gives it an identity, affiliated colleges, and examinations ending in degrees, they're all conflicting. Most often, the latter 2, namely affiliated colleges and examinations ending in degrees, they overwhelm the university. The natural concerns of these and their dynamics consume the energies of individuals and bodies which are responsible for the university. A recent release from the MHRD, recent meaning 3 years old, says that the average number of universities, average number of colleges per university in India is about 300. Apparently the highest in India is 901, which belongs to the University of Osmania University. Pune University has about the same number. The National Higher Education Initiative, which is at present in cold storage, the Rashtriya Uchchar Shiksha Abhiyan, aims to reduce this number to 200. My preference is for 0. And this can be achieved by firstly trifurcating a university. The 3 distinct functions of a university should be academically and administratively trifurcated. Now, this trifurcation might help, might free the campus of a university for growth in appropriate directions. Actually, this is nothing very new. In our own country, there are examples of non-affiliating universities. The 4 examples I can mention are Banaras Hindu University, Central University of Hyderabad, Jawaharlal University, and Jadavpur University. The focus on the campus, insistence on quality and the primacy of academic values in that academic center, provision of real internal autonomy to its parts, from faculty to individuals in different measure, will all help us to revive this dying giant of the university system, which alone provides the source of higher education for this country. If this country has to have a future as knowledge economies, this giant has to be strong. I hope that we will all enable our country to grow into a source of higher education. Your education here, amplified by your self-study, will make it possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request our Director, Professor N. Satyamurthy, and Registrar, Dr. T. Bapaya, to present a memento to our Chief Guest, Professor T. Raman. May I now request our Chairman, Board of Governors, Professor N. Satyamurthy, to declare the convocation closed.
I declare the convocation closed.
All rise for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा, तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा, जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Please remain standing till the academic procession starts. All candidates are invited for snacks in the foyer of lecture hall complex. Thank you.